before I begin, I want to put out this disclaimer. I'm telling you the reason why, in this video, I'm telling you my opinion. The reason why I don't wear the shoes, Jordan shoes that is, the reason why I don't support this man. Now, at one point in time, I was a fan of him as an athlete, but never as a person, because I always knew how Jordan was. It took you all to realize that after he did that, whatever that thing he did, the special on ESPN, but I always knew how Jordan was and is. Alright? Let's go. Jordan's brand, it first came out in the late 80s, right? And the shoes were never cheap. They always were about $100 or so. So even if I wanted a pair, my mother wasn't gonna get them for me. It's just that plain and simple. You see what I'm saying? I never was like a basketball fan like that. I watched the basketball games, I looked at the football games, and as you know, these different athletes, black athletes came out with their individual sneaker. I never was interested in it. I just never was, right? I've never tried on a pair of Jordans. Out of all of the Jordans that have came out, I've never been interested in wearing any of them. And I've been told that a lot of them are uncomfortable. And a lot of people wear them just for the look. So, in the late 80s, they came out, with the first Jordan sneaker. And then, of course, throughout the years, Jordan came out, Nike came out, with more of the sneakers. Right? Now, it's building, it's becoming popular. The kids want a pair of Jordans because they're going to school. It's their first day of school and everybody got a pair of Jordans on. They got the 8s, the 9s, the 10s. I don't even know the numbers and all of that stuff, but they got all of the Jordans on. Everybody got Jordans on, except for this one kid. And what happens? He's living in the black community. He gets up. He says to himself, "Well, I want some Jordans." He's dealing with peer pressure. Because people are telling them, well, you're not cool because you don't have a pair of Jordans. You know what happens with that kid? He goes out, he gets him a gun, and he sees them a victim. Yo, what size you wear? Oh, those Jordans is nice. What size are they? 10? Oh, they are 10? Yo, run your shoes. Next thing you know, the kid don't want to give him the Jordans. The other kid shoots and kills the kid. And this was what was going on in the late 80s, early 90s in the black communities. Around, I ain't gonna say the world, but at least in the United States of America. Kids were killing each other over Jordans. And you know what Jordan did? You know what he did? He remained silent. Now I know what most of y'all gonna say. Y'all gonna say, well, that man, he's a businessman. Jordan didn't put that gun into that kid's hands. Jordan didn't force anyone to buy his sneakers. And I get that. I'm not holding him accountable for the killing. For kids killing each other over sneakers. That's not what I'm holding him accountable for. I'm holding him accountable for him not saying nothing and being silent. And Jordan at the time was bigger than life. It was only 3 people that was like megastars in the late 80s and early 90s. That was Whitney Houston, Michael Jordan, and Michael Jackson. So the point that I'm making to you is, if Michael Jordan just came out with a commercial and said, hey, listen, I understand that you like my sneaker or whatever, but my sneaker is not worth you dying for. My sneaker is not worth you taking somebody else's life. That you need to definitely check yourself. If you can't afford my sneaker, then guess what? Go to work, save up the money, and get the sneaker. But if you gotta kill somebody, if you gotta hurt somebody to take that sneaker, I don't want you to purchase my sneakers. It's just that plain and simple. He could have said something simple as that. Or he could have went into the black communities and gave people jobs, opportunities, in order that they can save the money up and buy his sneakers. But instead, he remained silent. And everybody knows right now how much of an asshole Michael Jordan is. Rappers have been promoting his sneakers for years for nothing, marketing and advertising his sneakers for nothing. Michael Jordan never gave him anything for nothing. But what does Michael Jordan say? I hate you rappers. I hate you rappers. Which makes no sense to me. We have to stop supporting our oppressors. It's just that plain and simple. Now, you may sit back and say, well, Michael Jordan is not my oppressor. He is. He is. Because he takes money from you and gives you nothing. Nothing. A man of his stature. A man that has the power to change things orally. Just by words. Not by his wallet. When it came time for him to do that, he didn't do anything. And for all you black women out there, I want to tell you this. Hold Michael Jordan up to the same standards that you hold us black men up to. Because if I walk out the door with a white girl holding her hand, you shaking, snapping your fingers. You always got something to say. I'm not saying like all women are beautiful, but I specifically deal with black women. But I'm just saying, if I were to, you got all this mouth, but the minute Michael Jordan got a white girl and he married to a white girl, you ain't got nothing to say. You won't support what I'm doing because I'm dating a white girl, but you will support him and what he's doing, and he's dating a white girl. That's crazy to me. That Michael Jordan is pimping the black community and Nike's pimping Michael Jordan. It's crazy. So as usual, black people getting pimped over and over and over and over again. And we don't realize that we're slaves. We're slaves to Nike, we're slaves to Samsung, we're slaves to Apple, and the list goes on. It just makes no sense. And yo, that's why my sons don't know anything about Jordans. Anything. Look at what they're doing now. They're coming out with retro Jordans, the same Jordans that these kids were wearing in the 80s and the 90s, but they're doubling up on the price. Come on, man, that's called price gouging. Ain't nobody peeping game on that? You telling me that the ones and the twos are $230, but in the late 80s, in the early 90s, they were like a buck change, like $100. And don't give me that BS about some inflation. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that BS. Those sneakers have doubled up. Those sneakers have doubled up. I don't care what anybody say. He don't have to charge that much for those damn sneakers. And they're retro. So imagine if I come out with something like right now in 2020, and then I try to sell it to you, sell you that same thing that I'm charging $20 for. I try to sell you that same thing in 2040 for $100, and it's the same thing. Ain't nothing new, man. Get out of here with that, man. Get out of here. That is the biggest pimp game that I ever seen with these retro sneakers, and y'all falling for it. Y'all camping out at night. Y'all are the same suckers. I'm gonna call y'all suckers. Y'all the same suckers. When I approach you, I be on some, yo, let's go work out, get a membership to the Y, let's eat better, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to be a vegetarian, but you cut back on the pork, I got this quinoa and this black rice and maca powder and ginkgo biloba and herbs and all of this stuff that's gonna make you a better you. Oh, you ain't got the money for that? Man, I'm broke, man. I can't afford all that stuff. The kikawa is quinoa, brother. Whatever it is, I can't afford it. But then you the same sucker that I see camped out in front of the Nike store. They interviewing you. I'm seeing this punk on the news. Yeah, man, cause I gotta get the retro 10s, you know what I'm saying? And they charging you $330 for the sneakers. I'm like, yo, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Y'all camping out? I can see if you were smart. You were camping out to buy those sneakers and resell them online, because there are people that do that. And I applaud those type of people. But I'm talking about you, sucker, that sits and wait, camps out overnight to buy a pair of $330 sneakers, only to put them up and wear them once or twice. Man, are you kidding me? If I'm buying a $330 pair of shoes, I'm gonna wear them every day. Those sneakers better be able to make me lunch. Period. Yo, let me tell you something. I ain't trying to be funny, but you know I'm a real dude. You know how much I can get out of a whore if I gave her $330? I can get a blowjob. I can get sex. I might get my food. She cook my food, fold my laundry up, wash my clothes, dry my clothes. I could get a whole lot from a whore for $330 than I could get from a pair of Jordans. I'm telling you, straight up, when you be buying whores, I'm just being real. When you be buying whores, ask for more than what you ask for, because you getting pimped if you just getting a blowjob and some sex for $330. Nah, bro. I'm paying you by the hour. I need you to get your ass in there and wash those goddamn dishes after you give me a blowjob. After you give me sex. I need you to wash those dishes. I need you to wash my clothes. I need you to do some chores around the house. You gonna work for this $330. That plain and simple. So I'm not trying to tell y'all not to buy the sneaker. I'm not trying to tell you to throw the sneakers away that you got. I'm just telling you that you're supporting your oppressor. It's just that plain and simple. Michael Jordan don't give a damn about black people. Damn for sure don't give a damn about black women either. So I don't know what to tell you. I gave you my opinion. Here you go. You unsubscribe, you subscribe. Hey, it's whatever. It's whatever. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and it's just that plain and simple. Other than that, my name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video. 1.